Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. We're inching closer to WrestleMania 41, and Triple H's creative offerings on weekly TV haven't gone down well with Vince Russo. In addition to advancing stories and promo segments, WWE has been presenting quite a few long matches. Raw had a big title match between Bayley and Lyra Valkyria this week, and Vince Russo wasn't too hyped about the showdown either. The former WWE writer, however, delved deeper into Triple H's ideology and noted how it was the wrong approach when dealing with episodic television. While speaking on wrestling's Legion of Raw, Russo recalled his final days in the WWE and how he still maintained a format that ensured angles were set up for next week. Vince said fans didn't care about watching matches and seeing pinfalls, as the storytelling was what mattered. Vince Russo mentioned Triple H's preferences and said the game was a traditional booker who relied on lengthy matches. Vince Russo had seen fans wax lyrical about Bayley's most recent match on Raw, but stressed he had no interest in seeing her or other stars wrestle more, as he'd already witnessed that 1,000 times. Every wrestling head booker has their style, and it seems like Triple H's methods aren't entirely focused on pushing narratives forward in WWE. Introduction: The road to WrestleMania 41. WrestleMania is WWE's grandest stage, the culmination of months of planning, storylines, and matches designed to give fans the most thrilling spectacle in professional wrestling. As the industry continues to evolve, so too do the expectations for what constitutes good booking and storytelling. In recent years, a new leadership regime has taken over WWE, with Triple H, Paul Levesque, seemingly stepping into a pivotal role of overseeing creative. Known for his tenure as a top performer and eventual executive, Triple H has been both praised and criticized for his approach to booking WWE's most significant events. However, as WWE approaches WrestleMania 41, an outspoken expert has come forward with serious concerns regarding Triple H's booking strategy, calling it deeply flawed and exposing potential weaknesses in how the company is heading into the shows. This expert, an industry veteran with decades of experience, argues that Triple H's booking decisions are showing clear signs of strain and could set the stage for a less than legendary WrestleMania. The rise of Triple H in WWE. Before diving into the criticisms, it's important to understand the context of Triple H's journey within WWE. Once regarded as the game, Triple H built his legacy in the ring, becoming one of the most decorated superstars in WWE history. However, in recent years, he shifted from being a full-time wrestler to a major executive with significant influence over WWE's creative direction. With Vince McMahon stepping down from his day-to-day role in WWE, Triple H's ascension to the top of the creative department seemed like a natural progression. As a performer, Triple H has long been known for his methodical, strategic approach to his matches and storylines. His penchant for long-term storytelling, most notably seen in his rivalry with The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Shawn Michaels, was a major reason why he was chosen to oversee creative. Fans expected his booking to follow in a similar vein, focusing on long-term character development, depth, and coherent, believable narratives. Triple H, however, inherited a company that had changed drastically since the peak of his wrestling career. WWE's audience had shifted, and so too had the business. Fans no longer consumed WWE the way they did in the Attitude Era, or even during the Ruthless Aggression Era. Social media, the advent of streaming services, and the global nature of WWE's audience had created a more demanding fan base, one that had very specific expectations regarding storytelling and booking. Yet, even as Triple H took charge of creative, his booking strategy quickly drew the attention of critics and fans alike. The expert in question, a former WWE creative team member with vast experience in both television and wrestling, claims that Triple H's strategy is flawed in several key areas, undermining the very essence of what made WWE a success in the first place. The flaws in Triple H's booking strategy. The expert, who has asked to remain anonymous for this exclusive insight, explains that Triple H's approach to booking often lacks the spontaneity, adaptability, and realism that have defined WWE's greatest stories. According to this critic, while Triple H's heart may be in the right place, his decisions in recent years have often been misguided, leaving WWE in a precarious position heading into WrestleMania 41. Overemphasis on long-term booking at the expense of immediate impact. One of the primary criticisms of Triple H's booking is his heavy reliance on long-term storytelling. While long-term booking can create memorable moments and provide a sense of payoff, the expert argues that Triple H has leaned too heavily on this aspect, to the point where it has negatively impacted the immediacy of current feuds and storylines. Not every storyline needs to be mapped out 6 months in advance, the expert says. Sometimes you need to make decisions on the fly, based on audience reactions and current events in the company. Triple H's approach is almost too calculated, which takes away the spontaneity that fans love. This issue has been particularly noticeable in WWE's recent pay-per-view events leading up to WrestleMania 41. In many instances, fans have complained about lackluster build-ups and payoffs that feel more like filler than engaging narratives. One of the most glaring examples of this is the build-up to the feud between Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. While the match has been built with great anticipation, the journey to the clash between these two top superstars has been criticized for being drawn out unnecessarily, with segments and matches that fail to advance the story meaningfully. Rather than focusing on the raw emotions and dynamics between the characters, the build-up has sometimes felt formulaic and devoid of real stakes. The WWE universe has been left wondering whether this drawn-out story will pay off or if it will fall flat in the end. Missed opportunities with emerging talent. Another significant flaw in Triple H's strategy has been his treatment of emerging talent. While Triple H is known for his ability to elevate talent, particularly through his work with NXT, there is a perception that he has dropped the ball in terms of giving newer stars the chance to shine on the grandest stage. Triple H has always been great at building talent, but he struggles with giving them the right moments to capitalize on their potential when it matters most. The expert argues, he's too focused on nostalgia acts and established stars, which leaves little room for fresh faces to truly make an impact. This issue was evident in several key storylines leading into WrestleMania 41. Stars like Austin Theory and LA Knight, who had established themselves as rising talents, were often relegated to mid-card storylines, leaving fans questioning whether WWE was willing to take the risk on fresh talent. While some of these talents have had their moments, the lack of meaningful storylines or major matches on the biggest stage has limited their opportunities to become true megastars. Additionally, some fans have pointed out that Triple H's booking seems to favor wrestlers he personally worked with or has a history with, such as Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and Becky Lynch. While these performers are incredibly talented, the concern is that they are taking up spots that could have gone to the next generation of stars. Lack of cohesive storytelling across shows. Another area where Triple H's booking has faltered is in the consistency and cohesiveness of storytelling across WWE's various shows. The expert highlights that WWE's flagship shows, Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, often feel disconnected, with storylines that don't always translate across platforms. The problem is that it feels like Raw and SmackDown are operating in separate universes, the expert explains. You'll have a major storyline on one show that never gets acknowledged on the other, or you'll see the same match happen on both shows with no real storyline reason for it. This lack of coherence creates confusion for the audience and weakens the overall narrative of the product. The lack of continuity is especially apparent when comparing how certain rivalries are handled on Raw versus SmackDown. While one show may see a feud intensifying, the other may present a completely different angle, leaving fans scratching their heads. WWE's refusal to streamline its storytelling has left the product feeling disjointed and inconsistent, especially as the company prepares for its biggest event of the year. Nostalgia acts at the expense of new ideas. Perhaps the most divisive aspect of Triple H's booking strategy is his reliance on nostalgia acts. From bringing back legends to featuring part-time performers like Brock Lesnar, John Cena, and The Undertaker, WWE's heavy use of nostalgia has been a source of tension with fans and critics alike. While these veterans are undeniably popular and bring star power to major events, the expert argues that WWE's over-reliance on them has come at the expense of fresh ideas and the elevation of younger talent. It's fine to use legends, but when every major storyline involves bringing back an old name, it undermines the credibility of the current roster, the expert explains. This issue has been particularly evident in the build-up to WrestleMania 41, where stars like Cena and Lesnar are once again taking center stage. While these matches may draw interest in the short term, the long-term effect could be damaging to WWE's future. Triple H's response to the criticism. In response to these criticisms, Triple H has remained largely unfazed, continuing to push forward with his booking strategy. He maintains that long-term planning and the elevation of established stars are integral to the success of WWE. However, in interviews he has acknowledged the importance of listening to the audience and being willing to adapt to changes in the industry. Despite this, the expert remains skeptical. The problem is that Triple H seems to be stuck in his ways. The source concludes, he's trying to play the long game, but sometimes that means missing out on the big moments that could truly make WrestleMania 41 unforgettable. Conclusion: a make-or-break moment for Triple H. As WWE heads toward WrestleMania 41, Triple H finds himself at a crossroads. The criticism of his booking strategy has reached a boiling point, and the pressure to deliver a truly memorable event has never been greater. While his reign as head of WWE Creative has been marked by some successes, it is clear that flaws in his approach may have exposed weaknesses that could affect the company's future. For fans, the question remains, will Triple H's vision for WWE lead to a thrilling, unpredictable WrestleMania, or will it fall into the trap of safe, predictable booking that leaves fans wanting more? WrestleMania 41 may very well be the moment that defines Triple H's legacy as a booker, and the future direction of WWE itself. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our WWE official YouTube channel for more update news.